how dare I quit for something that they sacrificed and so many people sacrificed for me to get there. And then it became they got the best seats in the house. So before the games, I would like go like this and 3 times and I point up saying that, hey, it's showtime, like, tune in. And that just really fueled me. Take advantage of all your opportunities. And people sacrificed and gave so much for you to kind of be in those situations. Like, don't let them down.
Hi, I'm Dave Calabro, and I've covered some of the biggest moments in sports. But the stories that matter most are the ones that you rarely hear, because the game is decided long before the final whistle or the checkered flag. These are the people who make the big plays. Welcome to Playmakers. Brought to you by Indiana Members Credit Union.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle. Like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the IBJ Studios, downtown Indianapolis. Dave Calabro joining by my special guest. This is number 58 in your program, Gary Brackett. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Give me some, man.
58 in your program, number 1 in your hearts.
Right.
Let's
What
go.
do you think, man? We've gone big time.
This is fancy, man. I geek out over like lights and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say I'm a techie, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night, so I know I know a little bit to be dangerous.
Well, when we came up with this concept of playmakers, you came to mind immediately because I think about people who've made plays on and off the field, and people who've been relentless, willing to take risks, willing to fail, willing to succeed.
Yeah.
And you came to mind. I was like, I need to get GB on here. We go way back. We did a show on Channel 13 called The Sports Jam.
Absolutely.
Sunday nights after Sunday night football.
Yes.
We would come on, and you and Reggie Wayne, and we had a lot of fun back then.
Yeah, it was, man. It was you taught me so much just learning, the media game and professionalism and what to say and what not to say. And also like a lot of our stuff was like one take. So it wasn't any do-overs.
We were on live. Had to go.
So it's just like, so that really prepares you when you're talking, like, all right, I gotta mean what I say when I say this thing.
I want to start. Your journey's been amazing. I know your journey, and I want people to hear about it. You were stud football player in high school, went to Rutgers as a walk-on.
Right.
How intimidating was that? I mean,
Man,
it's wild.
It was. Rutgers is like IU. It was like, 40,000, 50,000 undergrad. So it was a huge campus. At the time, we're playing in the Big East, so very competitive conference. Weren't very good, right? But seeing the guys that are bigger, stronger, faster. So for me, it's just like, all right, what can my strength be? And I think it was just how I approached the game, like how I prepared and just learning to play the game from the neck up. And I think that was always my competitive advantage because I wasn't just out there trying to off my sheer talent, right, and size and ability. It's like I'm gonna think through this stuff, and I'm gonna outthink players, and I think that's what kind of helped me in college and then led me into the NFL.
Yeah, you became captain at Rutgers by your senior year, which is pretty amazing, and then you're undrafted.
Yeah,
and you show up in Indianapolis. Had you ever been to Indy before?
Funny story. No, I didn't travel. My first time ever traveling or going on a plane was my first game to California at Rutgers. So I come to Indianapolis and they're signing this mini camp. They're signing the free agents, in the cafeteria. What the old cafeteria, right? It's different now. And I'm sitting down. I'm nervous as hell. I just saw Mr. Manning, right? Mr. Harrison, all these guys, and
Mr. Manning.
Yeah, I'm sitting down to sign a contract.
Like, oh shucks, hey,
hey, how you doing, sir? And for the internet, you got to fill out the application. And it's like, all right, what team? And I was like, I'm nervous. I'm sitting there, and I wasn't a great speller anyway. So the guy who was helping me, I was like, hey, how do you spell Indianapolis? He was like, oh, brother, like, where did we get him from? I was like, no, it's a lot of I's. I'm just I. So
there's another vowel in there somewhere.
Yeah, like I didn't want to mess it up. So I ended up being all right.
Well, you learned how to spell Indianapolis.
I did.
And Indianapolis learned how to spell Gary Brackett. I mean,
Man.
2 Super Bowls, captain. You still hold the record in the Super Bowl with 18 solo tackles. That's pretty cool.
Well, I think 12 solo tackles. I wish it was 18.
Is it 18? 12.
So 18, someone has a record for 18, like, total tackles.
Right.
But it was like 12 assists. An assist could be, you touch a guy and he goes down, depending on who's recording. So 12 solos is what I have. I think it was like 13 tackles overall, but it's still a huge game, and no one had touched that record. So that's a good accomplishment for me.
Okay, so you come to the Colts, you're a free agent, you finally figured out how to spell Indianapolis, and now you start to figure out how am I going to make this team, because you were a special teams guy.
Exactly.
Right? And then you finally got a couple breaks and started making some plays.
Man, so what I learned was like, one, guys didn't want to cover it, and then two, in a cover two, what we're kind of known for on Coach Dungy, you really had to have quicks and smarts in order to like protect that part of the field. And I would do it so well, I would tell the safeties like, hey, you guys could be more aggressive on the sideline. I'm going to run all the way down the middle of the field. And that kind of really helped our defense, because now we're protected on the back end, and they gave Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney, the time they needed to get to the quarterback.
Worked out, didn't it? When did you realize it's A, I can succeed, and B, we've got something special cooking here?
Man, so my third year, I was named the starter, and we played Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football. Big game. Baltimore had like Pro Bowlers all over the place on defense. I think for the call out, it was like 14 guys ran out the tunnel. I think they had Deion Sanders at the time, Rod Woodson, Ray Lewis did his thing.
I was there. I remember all this.
Yeah. So Peyton Manning, I started the game, first time starting. I had 10 tackles, 2 interceptions, and I rushed the passer. And everyone was like, who is this kid? Like, we were playing against Ray Lewis and this guy. And right then I was like, yo, I could play, I can succeed, at this level. It's the same thing, right? And everyone asked me, like, what's the difference between high school, college, and pro? They think it's the speed, but I don't think it is. I think it's the efficiency. I think guys are just more efficient at their jobs. They're not taking false steps. They're not taking bad reads, and ultimately you get to a point where I know what you're going to do. You know what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. Like, who's going to oppose who's will on each other.
Before we jump into all the Super Bowl matters and what that was like, in the middle of you trying to make the Colts, you were going through some serious behind-the-scenes issues. You lost your mom, your dad, and your brother in the span of, 17 months?
Yeah.
I remember that, man. That's a lot to walk through as a young man trying to establish yourself in the NFL.
Yeah. I think
not to bring up, but I think it's something that people can learn from.
I think the resilience. I still get letters today, just because every time I speak and I share a story, someone comes up to me, afterwards, crying like, I just lost my mom. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And man, you just take it one day at a time. And a day doesn't go past when I don't think about my mom, my dad, my brother. But it also influenced how I interact. And how precious life is, and how I maintain relationships, and how I'm outgoing, because life isn't promised. But going through it at the time, Coach Dungy was great. He had just lost his father, so he was familiar with cancer. He was familiar with what's going on. I lost my dad during the season. It was a bye week, so I went and saw him. My mom went in for a routine surgery. And unfortunately, she died on the recovery table. And then my brother was diagnosed with cancer. I was actually his bone marrow donor. And then, unfortunately, 6 months later, he died for complications. So,
how'd you get through all that?
I think
you're a man of God. I know that.
Yeah. Being a Christian, and just your faith kind of gets rooted in those situations. And at one point, I was angry with God, and I was just mad and upset. And my parents had their room upstairs. They had a bathroom. You're messy little boys, so don't go upstairs in their bathroom. But, during that period, I was staying at home, so I was staying in their bathroom. And in their bathroom, they had a poem on the wall. And I looked at it, and I really read it. I never really studied it. But it was the poem Footprints. And it talked about, in footprints where someone was walking with God, and everywhere they went, there was 2 sets of footprints. But during its toughest times, there was only 1 set of footprints. So then he questions God, like, God, where were you in my toughest times? only seen one set of footprints. And then that's when God responds, my son, that's when I carried you.
Amen. Yes.
So that's how I kind of feel during that moment. Like,
Did
man,
that fuel you? Did that fuel you? All those memories of family and like, okay, I got to carry on the Brackett name now.
you know what's crazy? After my brother passed away, I was like in a bad place, and I was considering quitting football just because I felt like my family needed me so much, and they were struggling at home, and I made a little bit of money, I was just like I could help support us, but then it was just like, how dare I quit for something that they sacrificed, and so many people sacrificed for me to get there. And then it became, they got the best seats in the house. So before the games, I would like go like this and 3 times and I point up saying that, hey, it's showtime, like, tune in. And that just really fueled me, like, take advantage of all your opportunities. And people sacrificed and gave so much for you to kind of be in those situations. Like, don't let them down.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who want to fold in the tents.
Yeah.
Right? And you did. And you did just the opposite. You became a force with the Colts, and then, of course, the magical run.
Yeah.
19 years ago, we were out on Monument Circle on a cold day out there with all those people. What do you remember most when I bring up Super Bowl 41? What pops in your mind? It had to have been a cool, surreal experience. Captain.
Yeah.
First time, Indianapolis, here we go. You're out there in the middle of the field. The world's watching. That's got to be wild.
One of the coaches said it's a regular season game with the whole world watching. Right?
Hey, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. So, no, it was amazing. And, all week long, we knew Devin Hester was their biggest weapon. And obviously on defense and offense, we were like, hey, let's just not kick it to Devin. Let's just make it between offense and defense. But the special teamers were like, hey, we it's a third. We got us here too. Like, give us a shot to prove ourselves. And we was like, all right. And he kicked off. It was like, he's still going.
Devin Hester took off.
Oh, man.
Ran straight through the stadium.
But then it just really just shows you, like, it's not going to be easy, right? You're always going to experience some sort of resistance. And we didn't come this far to let this little bit of resistance stop us. So it's just like, all right, cool. Now, let's lace up. We spotted them 7 points. Let's go.
Man, what a night. What do you remember most about that? What do you take away when you look back on that moment? Man, touching the Lombardi, the rain.
The crazy thing. So we went out after the Super Bowl, had some adult beverages.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
So I had the bright idea before a game to make the decision of going like Good Morning America. So it was like a 5 a.m. spot. Something I had to be on at 4:30. Something stupid. I got home like 3 o'clock. So it was just like hard any sleep. But I go to sleep and I wake up and then remember like, brushing my teeth. And I'm like this water is wet. It tastes the same. Right. And I put my pants on. I'm like, I thought like I was Super Bowl champion. It's gonna be a lad. I was just gonna like they'll float on and like you will feel this big change. And what I remember just like when you get to the top of the mountain and you're looking over, you realize this view was okay, but it was the journey of the person that I became while I was climbing, when I was doing anything that mattered most. So I really just started retrospectively thinking back to like the Jacksonville Jaguars game when they ran for almost 400 yards on us, right? And Bob Kraft's great line, he had he said that the Jacksonville could have ran for 500 yards, but the end zone kept getting in the way. And it was so true, right? We stunk that game. Yeah. But it's because of that and some of the change that we made that kind of led us to be able to win a championship.
Then you guys come home for the big parade.
Oh, the parade was awesome.
What do you remember about all that?
It was cold.
It was cold.
And they had these retro jackets that they gave us all because they weren't expected to be cold. So it was like, we all got these 1950 jackets that we got from the Colts. I still got mine. It's just like a 3X. It's like way too big. But I just remember, everyone was just so happy and we're up on the, the fire station. And then it was a long parade. We're out here, I don't know, for forever. Felt like forever. And then we go into the stadium and it was like packed. And it was like, felt like it was a game. And it was such a great feeling just being on the stage. I remember Tony Dungy, we had a thing like make it rain. So I remember Tony Dungy during his speech, he kind of make it rain a little bit.
So not him.
So not him. But it was just a great experience, just seeing everyone that happy, that that fulfilled from all the work that we had done.
Yeah, and it changed the whole landscape of
Oh,
sports in Indianapolis. You didn't realize that at the time, but looking back on it 19 years later, it's wild what that meant.
that one Super Bowl, probably had a big effect on us being able to move and get a new stadium. Then the Super Bowl coming here. Then everyone see how great the place was for conventions. And now we were just walking in. I was like, man, all these hotels everywhere. Like, this is amazing. But they really do a great job of hosting and everything else. And still in the material is Super Bowl 41 champions.
You take a sense of pride from that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I don't know what number of Super Bowl we're on now, but it's like so special to be one of the teams that won a Super Bowl. So many players haven't played in playoff games, let alone going to a Super Bowl, playing it and winning it. And for me, playing a significant role, being captain, it's just a really proud moment. What's special for me is like some of the players I still reach out to me. They say, "Hey, Captain, can you give me a call? I got a question."
Right, you earned that title.
Yeah. So it just feels good.
Well, so you didn't just rest on your laurels. You went and football's over, lost to the Saints. We don't have time to talk about that.
Yeah.
Lost to the Saints in the Super Bowl. And then you get your MBA, and then you decide, hey, what the heck? I'm going to reinvent myself here.
Yeah.
You're willing to take risks, dude. I love that.
I think when we're doing something for so long, and you can attest to this, you kind of have this toolbox. And for me, I was just using the same tool. And for me, it was a hammer. And when you use a hammer, every situation looks like a nail, right? But as you get outside the sports world, you can't approach every situation like that. So I think NBA really just had me retool some things in my tool bag, recalibrate some things, start utilizing some things for the first time. And yeah, restaurants for me was something that I love to do. Hospitality was something that I grew up on. And we had a great run. And, and people look like, oh, man. And it was unfortunate, but it was like terrible timing. It was 2020.
COVID, yeah.
We had 10 restaurants at the time. 7 out of 10 were profitable. So we were doing okay. We had 7 franchises sold. We had a location in Indianapolis Airport opening up, and just COVID came. And just, I don't know how I could have prepared for that.
No.
So it was just like, unfortunately, I had a lot of people, 400 employees. And I just had to make the decision to kind of jump on a grenade and get them so they could get unemployment because we weren't making any income. No one was coming. We can't afford them. So I just had to make some tough decisions as a result of that. But looking back on it,
you learned a lot about yourself, didn't you? Yeah.
When you fail, it's all about the lens in which you look back at it. So I could look back at it like I lost millions of dollars, or I gained millions of dollars in experience. Right, the former, like I'm depressed. The latter, like I'm unstoppable.
Yeah,
and I've been in so many meetings, had to make so many decisions, and learn how to look at things differently. So for me now, looking at business deals and stuff like that, I've had experience in doing so. So it's just real easy for me now to make a decision on what I should do and what I shouldn't.
What do you say to someone who's listening, watching this podcast, who's failed and go, I'm not trying that again because I failed? Believe me, I've failed quite a few times doing what I'm doing.
I don't think you're really trying if you don't fail. Right? In the weight room, you never are going to reach your max if you don't attempt it first and fail. And I would say to those people is that you survive 100% of your bad days. Like you survive, like you're here as a testament that you survive. Nothing has killed you yet.
Yeah.
If you're still listening to this, you're alive. Like you got a heartbeat. Like, let's go.
There is tomorrow.
There is tomorrow. And I think this is one thing that I had to realize is that we all think we're so big. And we all think when we fail, we make a mistake like, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. Everyone's like, they don't care about you. They got their own problems they're dealing with. Right?
Isn't that true?
Oh my goodness.
That's true. Yeah, that is so true. So what's next for you now? I mean, what do you, I know you love challenges.
Yeah.
So what's up for GB Gary Brackett now?
Yeah. So fortunately, NFL and 401k and stuff like that. So, I've been good that way. One of the things Coach Caldwell would always say is your best ability is your availability. So I co-parent with my 3 children, Gabrielle 16, Gary Jr. 14, and Georgia 12. So I get so much joy and fulfillment by being involved in their lives and doing things. So I say I'm a dad first, right? And then I figure out the business stuff on the other end.
I love it.
And I've been fortunate to be able to do that, man. But I feel like you have seasons in your life. And this isn't a season where I'm willing to travel and be gone in these key moments.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get them back. So I'm
Right.
just trying to maximize that time right now that I have.
Be there for those kids. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What's it like being a parent as a former pro athlete? Now you got your own kids. Are you a yeller on the sidelines? Are you making them doing reps? Or what kind of dad are you? Come on, be honest.
So this is the caveat. I had to relearn some things, right? Because you know they're always like, hey, if you're a parent, just be a parent. When you go to a game, just watch and let the coach, right? And I think the caveat is only if it's a good coach.
Yes.
Right?
Right. Agreed.
If the coach isn't going to communicate with him, and I don't know the game plan, right? So I'm not going to say, hey, shoot it. But I do want you to work hard. I do want you to get in your stance. I do want you to be prepared, right? So I definitely yell at my kids, hey, let's pick it up, right? Energy. I coach my son, so I'm in his ear all the time. And the biggest challenge is my son is huge right now. He's 14, he's 5'11", 230. So he's a big...
He's 14, 5'11", 230?
Yeah, big boy.
That's a big boy.
But...
Can I be his agent?
Yeah, but you know what the great thing is? He's so kind. Like, he had an opportunity as defensive lineman. He made a move. He had a blind shot at the quarterback, and he just touched him, and then the quarterback ran out of it and got a first down. I'm like, what are you doing? He says, I would have killed him if I'd attacked him. I'm like, and remember, that's not our fault. I'm like the Russian and Rocky. Like, if he dies, he dies, right? So it's just like the biggest thing is just like, am I willing to teach him that switch?
Yeah,
and make him into what he needs to be to play football. Because for me, being a good kid is that's what I'm after.
That's going to carry him through life.
Yeah. So for me, it's just like I'm just having fun with it. I'm like, hey man, just let me know if you want me to push you or stop. But this is your rodeo. I'm just along for the journey, right? I tell my kids, treat me more as a resource and an authority.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Hey man, thanks for the time. Appreciate you coming down to do this and some great memories. And
absolutely.
Thank you so much for what you've done for Indianapolis and continue to do. And a lot of great memories, man.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Playmakers with Gary Brackett. Thanks for the time. If you got an idea for me, it's dcalabro1981@gmail.com. We'll put it on there so you can. Who do you want to hear from, right? Who do you want to hear from?
Yeah, next. I got to get Reggie. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, Reggie. Playmakers. Thanks for listening and watching. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for watching and listening to Playmakers, brought to you by IBJ Media. I'm Dave Calabro. I hope you'll subscribe on YouTube or wherever else you get your podcast. Until next time, we'll see you later.